India's diversity is often described as a miracle, but Obama emphasizes that it is not a coincidence. It is the result of a long history of coexistence, shared values, and the ability of people to see humanity before differences. When he celebrates India's diversity, he is not simply listing cultures or languages. He is pointing to the deeper idea that a nation can be strong not despite its differences, but because of them. India's identity is built on layers of civilization, each adding color to the present generation. Obama highlights how people in India follow different religions, celebrate different festivals, speak dozens of languages, and still share a common sense of belonging. This unity is not enforced. It is chosen every single day by ordinary citizens who decide to respect each other's beliefs. According to Obama, this is what makes India not just a country but a powerful idea, an idea that the world can learn from. He implies that diversity in India is not passive, it is dynamic and constantly interacting. For example, when people walk through a busy Indian street, they can see a mosque, a temple, a church, and a gurdwara within the same neighborhood. This everyday sight is a reminder that India's identity is rooted in acceptance. Obama believes this coexistence is one of India's greatest strengths, and it is something the world deeply admires. He suggests that India's success in managing such vast diversity shows that harmony is possible even in challenging times. In a world divided by conflict and intolerance, India stands as a symbol of hope. Obama acknowledges that India's people, with their different customs and perspectives, bring richness to the country's cultural landscape. Another major element of Obama's appreciation is how cultural differences in India do not separate people. Instead, they create opportunities for learning. Whether it is through festivals like Diwali, Eid, Christmas, Baisakhi, or Pongal, India's shared celebrations bring communities together. Obama emphasizes that when people celebrate each other's traditions, they build empathy and reduce fear. India has cultivated this habit for thousands of years, and this ability to respect diversity deeply inspires him. He mentions that diversity challenges a nation to think beyond itself, and India has embraced that challenge with resilience and pride. Obama also appreciates how India's democracy is strengthened by its diversity. Democracy is not easy in a country with so many languages, religions, castes, and economic backgrounds, yet India continues to thrive. He believes that each community contributes something unique to the national conversation. By encouraging debate, discussion, and multiple viewpoints, India ensures that no single voice dominates. Obama admires this openness because diversity and democracy go hand in hand. They allow citizens to feel included and heard. Through this lens, India becomes a model for other nations, showing that unity does not require uniformity. He also highlights how India's diversity is reflected in its innovation and growth. When people from different backgrounds come together, they create new ideas, new art forms, new businesses, and new forms of expression. Obama suggests that India's economic and technological rise is connected to its cultural richness. The diversity of thought gives Indians the ability to approach problems creatively. Whether in science, literature, spirituality, or entrepreneurship, India's heritage inspires people to think differently. Obama firmly believes that this is one of the reasons India continues to influence the world. Another point he indirectly emphasizes is how diversity builds resilience. India has faced challenges, political, economic, social, but it survives because its foundation is built on plurality. The ability to adapt, absorb, and evolve has helped India maintain stability even during difficult times. Obama points out that nations with rigid identities often collapse when pressures arise, but India thrives because it has flexibility in its cultural DNA. It is constantly changing, yet rooted in ancient values of tolerance, compassion, and coexistence. Obama also praises India's people for their openness to other cultures. even though India is ancient, it has never been isolated. It has welcomed influences from various civilizations: Persian, Arab, British, Portuguese, Chinese, absorbing each into its own culture while staying true to its essence. This blending of cultures enriches the Indian identity. Obama sees this as proof that diversity is a powerful engine for growth, and India's ability to embrace new ideas without losing its core values is truly remarkable. Another important aspect is how diversity fosters a sense of shared humanity. Obama reminds that differences should not divide. They should help people understand the world more deeply. India demonstrates this beautifully. When millions of people with different backgrounds share the same land, markets, schools, and dreams, they develop empathy. This empathy is the glue that binds the nation together. Obama views this human connection as India's silent strength, something that shines brighter than statistics or achievements. By celebrating India's diversity, Obama is not simply praising a cultural trait. He is highlighting a powerful example for the world. He wants people everywhere to understand that unity comes from respecting differences, not erasing them. India's diversity is proof that peace is possible when people choose compassion over conflict, understanding over judgment, and unity over division. When Obama speaks about the importance of democracy and shared values between India and the United States, he is pointing to something much deeper than political systems. He is talking about a bond rooted in belief in liberty, dignity, and equality for every individual. Democracy, in his view, is not just a form of government. It is a commitment to treating people with respect and giving them a voice. India, the world's largest democracy, and the United States, one of the oldest, represent two different but connected journeys driven by similar ideals. Obama highlights how both countries, despite their unique histories, share a foundation built on the rule of law, the power of the people, and the protection of fundamental freedoms. This shared commitment creates a natural partnership, one that is strengthened by years of cooperation and mutual admiration. When Obama stresses shared democratic values, he emphasizes how both nations believe in the idea that governments should serve the people, not the other way around. This principle becomes especially powerful when considering India's vast diversity. Millions of people with different languages, religions, and backgrounds participate in elections, shape public policies, and influence national direction. Obama deeply respects how India has sustained democratic traditions on such a massive scale. It demonstrates the courage of the Indian people, who believe in dialogue, debate, and peaceful transition of power. For him, this is not just a political achievement, but a moral triumph. It reinforces the idea that democracy can thrive even in complex societies. Obama also appreciates the philosophical values that India and the United States share. Both nations believe in the inherent worth of every individual. They believe that no one is born superior or inferior. They believe in giving citizens the space to dream, work hard, and build the life they want. These values form the backbone of their democracies. When Obama speaks to an Indian audience, he often points to the common threads between the American Constitution and India's Constitution. Both documents protect freedom of speech, religious liberty, equal opportunity, and justice. These principles are not just legal frameworks, they shape how societies think and evolve. Another aspect Obama focuses on is the responsibility that comes with democracy. He explains that democracy is not perfect. It requires constant effort, patience, and sometimes struggle. There are disagreements, slow processes, and conflicts of interest, but these challenges are part of what makes democracy strong. When citizens engage in open discussion, challenge policies, or protest peacefully, they are strengthening the system. Obama admires how India continues to preserve freedom of expression, allowing people to question authority and demand better governance. He believes that democracy thrives when citizens actively participate rather than remain silent. Obama's message also highlights how democracy builds trust between nations. Because India and the United States share similar values, they can cooperate more effectively on global issues, whether it is climate change, economic growth, or regional security. Countries that believe in freedom and fairness tend to work together with greater transparency and mutual understanding. Obama sees this as the foundation of the India-US partnership. It is not based on temporary interests, but on shared ideals that have deep roots in both societies. He also draws attention to how democracy gives strength to ordinary people. In both countries, leaders come and go, but the power remains with citizens. Obama sees this as one of democracy's greatest gifts. It allows anyone, regardless of background, to rise through hard work. He himself is an example of this. Coming from a modest family, he rose to become President of the United States. Similarly, India has produced countless leaders who began with humble origins. This shared belief in opportunity connects the two nations at a human level. Another important point Obama underscores is that democracies must protect the rights of minorities. A true democracy is not just about majority rule. It is about ensuring that every individual's rights are respected. Obama often praises India for its long tradition of valuing all religions and cultures. He emphasizes that maintaining this inclusiveness is essential for the health of democracy. In his view, the strength of a nation is measured not by how it treats the powerful, but by how it protects the vulnerable. This belief forms another point of connection between India and the United States, both of which have struggled but continue to strive toward greater equality. Obama also encourages both nations to defend democratic values globally. As large and influential democracies, India and the United States have a responsibility to stand up for human rights, peace, and fairness. When they uphold these values, they inspire other countries. Obama believes that when democracies work together, they can tackle global challenges with greater moral authority. Another dimension of shared values Obama highlights is the spirit of innovation and openness. Democracies flourish when people have the freedom to think creatively, challenge norms, and express new ideas. India's technological rise, entrepreneurial spirit, and cultural influence reflect this freedom. The United States has similar strengths. Obama sees the exchange of ideas and collaboration between the two nations as a natural outcome of democratic environments where creativity is encouraged rather than restricted. Ultimately, Obama's message about shared values and democracy is not only a celebration but also a reminder. Democracies survive only when people nurture them. He urges citizens of both countries to protect their freedoms, respect their institutions, and uphold justice. By doing so, they preserve not just their own futures, but also the ideals that others around the world look up to. Through this message, Obama reinforces that India and the United States are connected not by geography or convenience, but by a shared belief in the dignity and potential of every human being. When Obama speaks about the empowerment of youth and the importance of the next generation, he is expressing a deep belief that the future of any nation depends on the energy, imagination, and courage of its young people. In India's case, this belief becomes even more powerful because the country has one of the largest youth populations in the world. Obama sees this as not just a statistic, but a tremendous advantage, something that can shape the future of the global economy, global leadership, and global innovation. He emphasizes that young people have a unique ability to think beyond limitations, challenge old ideas, and bring fresh perspectives to long-standing problems. According to him, young Indians carry both the strength of tradition and the hunger for progress. This combination makes them a force capable of transforming their country and influencing the world. Obama understands that youth are often the ones who drive social change. They are not afraid to question outdated norms, criticize injustice, or imagine a world that is fairer and more prosperous. When he refers to the power of India's youth, he is acknowledging how young people have already shaped the country's technological growth, digital revolution, and entrepreneurial wave. India's thriving startup ecosystem, advancements in space exploration, success in global technology industries, and growing creative sectors all highlight the role of young talent. Obama sees this vibrant energy not as a coincidence, but as evidence of what a youthful nation can achieve when it is determined, educated, and confident. Another important idea Obama focuses on is education. He believes that a strong education system is the foundation for empowering the next generation. For him, education is more than academic learning. It is about critical thinking, creativity, and the ability to adapt. He points out that when young people are given quality education, they gain the tools to contribute positively to society and solve complex problems. India's rich tradition of valuing education, from ancient learning centers to modern universities, impresses him deeply. But he also encourages continuous improvement so that every child, regardless of background, has the opportunity to learn, grow, and dream without barriers. Obama also emphasizes the importance of giving youth the confidence to believe in themselves. He often tells young audiences that they should not wait for permission to pursue big dreams. In his view, the world belongs to those who dare to imagine something extraordinary and then work relentlessly to achieve it. He believes that India's youth must take ownership of the future, not by relying on others, but by stepping forward with leadership, courage, and determination. He wants young people to understand that they are not simply inheriting the world, they have the power to build it according to their vision. A key theme in Obama's message is the idea of global citizenship. He encourages young Indians to see themselves not only as citizens of India, but as members of a global community. With technology shrinking borders, young people today have unprecedented access to knowledge, cultures, and opportunities. Obama believes this connectivity gives them a responsibility to think globally about climate change, poverty, innovation, and peace. The challenges the world faces can no longer be solved by one country alone. They require cooperation among nations. In this sense, young people from India can play a vital role in shaping global progress through their ideas, creativity, and leadership. Another dimension of youth empowerment that Obama highlights is innovation. He admires how young Indians are using technology to create solutions for real-world problems, whether in agriculture, healthcare, education, or environmental sustainability. He frequently mentions that innovation does not always require massive resources. It often comes from simple ideas driven by compassion and curiosity. Obama sees India's youth as naturally innovative because they grow up in a diverse, dynamic environment that teaches them resilience and adaptability. These traits, he believes, will allow them to play a critical role in the next wave of global technological transformation. Obama also stresses the importance of values in shaping the next generation. He encourages young Indians to not only pursue success, but to pursue it with integrity, empathy, and responsibility. He believes that real leadership comes not from power, but from character. In a rapidly changing world, values like honesty, humility, respect, and compassion become essential. He wants young people to understand that the choices they make today will influence not only their own futures, but the moral direction of their nation. For him, the future is safest in the hands of youth who combine intelligence with kindness, ambition with humility, and success with service. Another strong point in Obama's message is the importance of equality. He believes that societies progress when every young person, regardless of gender, caste, religion, or economic background, has the chance to achieve their dreams. He emphasizes empowering women and girls, supporting marginalized communities, and ensuring that no talent goes undiscovered due to discrimination. He sees inclusion as a necessary part of youth empowerment because leaving even one group behind weakens the entire nation. Ultimately, Obama's belief in India's youth is rooted in hope. He sees their energy, creativity, and determination as the driving force that will shape the future of India and the world. He wants the next generation to understand their potential, embrace their responsibilities, and build a future that is not just prosperous but just, compassionate, and inclusive. His message is clear. The destiny of India lies in the hands of its young people, and they have everything it takes to shape a better world. When Obama talks about India's economic growth and the opportunities for partnership between India and the United States, he is pointing toward a future shaped by collaboration, innovation, and shared progress. He acknowledges that India's economy has transformed remarkably over the decades, from a largely agrarian system to a global hub of technology, entrepreneurship, and skilled talent. But his message goes beyond praise. It carries a vision of how two major democracies can work together to solve global challenges, create jobs, and build long-term prosperity. Obama sees India not just as a rising economy, but as a nation with the potential to redefine global development. This is why his focus on partnership is grounded in mutual respect and a belief that when nations grow together, the entire world benefits. Obama recognizes that India's economic progress is deeply connected to the talent and determination of its people. From world-class engineers and scientists to entrepreneurs launching innovative startups, India's workforce has become one of its biggest strengths. He often highlights how Indian professionals contribute significantly to sectors like information technology, healthcare, space research, renewable energy, and digital innovation. For Obama, this is not just an achievement for India, it is an opportunity for meaningful collaboration. He sees a partnership where both nations pool their strength, India's young, dynamic workforce and America's technological leadership, to create solutions that can uplift millions. Another aspect Obama emphasizes is the entrepreneurial spirit that has taken root across India. He sees the rise of startups, digital platforms, and creative enterprises as a sign of a bold and confident generation, not waiting for opportunities but creating them. India's commitment to digital innovation, from mobile banking to e-commerce to AI research, shows how quickly the country is adapting to modern economies. Obama believes that when the United States and India collaborate in technology, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, clean energy, and innovation, they not only strengthen their own futures but also set a global standard for progress. He views this partnership as one that can drive breakthroughs affecting healthcare, climate sustainability, agriculture, and more. Clean energy is one of the strongest areas he highlights for collaboration. Obama has always been vocal about climate change, and he sees India as a crucial partner in building a greener world. With India's growing commitment to solar energy, wind power, and sustainable development, he acknowledges that the country is capable of becoming a global leader in renewable energy. He envisions joint initiatives where American research and Indian innovation work hand in hand, developing clean technologies, reducing carbon emissions, and creating millions of green jobs. In his view, this is not just an economic strategy, but a moral responsibility toward future generations. Another major area of cooperation Obama draws attention to is trade. India and the United States, as two of the largest consumer markets in the world, have immense potential to boost each other's economies. Increased trade can create jobs, expand access to new products and services, and strengthen economic stability. Obama believes that transparent, fair, and collaborative trade policies can help both nations benefit from each other's strengths. He stresses that economic partnership is not about competition, but about creating a balanced relationship where both sides gain. Education is another important dimension of this collaboration. Obama sees great value in student exchanges, research partnerships, and academic connections between the two countries. Thousands of Indian students study in the United States every year, contributing to academic excellence and cultural understanding. Obama believes that these exchanges strengthen ties and create a generation of leaders who understand and appreciate both cultures. This shared knowledge becomes the foundation for long-term economic cooperation and innovation. Obama also speaks about infrastructure and development as key opportunities for India. With a rapidly growing population and expanding cities, India needs modern infrastructure, better transportation systems, digital networks, healthcare facilities, and sustainable housing. Obama believes that partnerships with U.S. companies, researchers, and institutions can accelerate this development, bringing world-class infrastructure to Indian cities while opening new markets and investment opportunities. He sees this collaboration as mutually beneficial, creating growth for both economies. He also connects economic partnership with global leadership. As two of the world's largest democracies, India and the United States have a responsibility to support stability, fairness, and prosperity beyond their borders. Whether it is addressing global poverty, improving access to education, protecting human rights, or fostering peace, he believes that both nations can create significant impact when they work together. Economic partnership becomes a platform for global leadership, where prosperity leads to progress and progress leads to peace. Obama also acknowledges that real economic growth must be inclusive. It cannot benefit only the wealthy or privileged. He encourages policies that uplift rural communities, support small businesses, create opportunities for women, and ensure that everyone, including marginalized groups, can participate in economic progress. He believes that when growth is shared, democracy becomes stronger. India's commitment to expanding digital access, empowering women entrepreneurs, and supporting rural innovation aligns with this vision. Ultimately, Obama's message about economic growth and partnership is not about numbers. It is about people. It is about creating a future where young entrepreneurs can build global companies, where clean energy powers millions of homes, where students learn without limits, and where innovation thrives without boundaries. He sees India and the United States not as separate paths, but as partners walking toward a shared destiny. In his eyes, the collaboration between the two nations has the power to uplift not just their own citizens, but the entire world. When Obama speaks about equality and inclusivity, he is emphasizing a truth that goes beyond politics or national identity. He is reminding us that no society can truly progress if even one group is left behind. For him, equality is not only a moral ideal. It is a practical requirement for long-term stability, prosperity, and peace. In India's context, Obama recognizes that the nation's strength lies in its diversity, but for that diversity to shine, every individual must have equal opportunities to learn, grow, work, and live without discrimination. His message on inclusivity reflects a vision of an India and a world where progress is shared, not limited to a privileged few. Obama believes that inclusivity begins with recognizing the dignity of every human being. In a country as vast and varied as India, this means acknowledging and respecting differences in religion, caste, gender, language, and socioeconomic background. He sees India's long tradition of plurality as a powerful foundation for equality. Yet he also understands that societies must actively protect this openness through laws, education, and cultural values. He often points out that a nation's greatness is defined not by how it treats the majority, but by how it protects its minorities. For him, equality is not merely about avoiding oppression, it is about ensuring that every individual feels seen, valued, and empowered. A major part of his message focuses on the need to empower women and girls. Obama has consistently stressed, across many countries, that no society can reach its full potential if half the population is denied opportunities. When he speaks to Indian audiences, he highlights the immense talent, resilience, and leadership ability of women. He believes that when girls are given access to education, healthcare, and personal freedom, entire communities rise with them, countries grow faster, economies become more stable, and families prosper when women participate fully in society. Obama sees gender equality as a cornerstone of inclusivity, one that shapes the future of nations and determines how fair and progressive they will become. Another important aspect of inclusivity Obama emphasizes is the need to uplift marginalized communities. Whether people are disadvantaged because of poverty, caste, religion, or region, he believes that equitable access to opportunities is essential for national unity. He encourages policies that invest in rural development, improve school systems for the underprivileged, and support communities that have historically been overlooked. For Obama, the true measure of a society is not how well the rich live, but how effectively it lifts up the poor. He believes that progress must reach every village, every neighborhood, and every household, not just urban centers or elites. He also speaks about inclusivity in terms of economic participation. Obama understands that economic growth means little if it benefits only a small percentage of the population. He stresses the importance of creating jobs, supporting small businesses, and ensuring fair wages for workers. An inclusive economy, in his view, is one that allows people from all backgrounds to contribute and feel a sense of ownership in the nation's growth. He admires India's growing entrepreneurial spirit, but encourages making the ecosystem more accessible to those from modest backgrounds, young people, rural entrepreneurs, and women. For him, economic inclusivity is a powerful engine for national unity and long-term success. Obama also addresses inclusivity through the lens of education. He believes that education must be a universal right, not a privilege reserved for the wealthy. Good education empowers children to escape poverty, build confidence, and pursue their dreams. He highlights that inclusive education means providing equal resources to rural schools, supporting children with disabilities, and ensuring that girls are not discouraged or prevented from studying. Without education that reaches every corner of society, inclusivity remains incomplete. For Obama, the classroom is the first battlefield where equality is either won or lost. Another key part of his message involves religious harmony. India is home to multiple faiths living side by side, and Obama recognizes this as one of the world's most remarkable examples of coexistence. But he also reminds that harmony must be protected. When religious tolerance weakens, a society becomes divided, anxious, and vulnerable. He encourages India to remain a beacon of religious acceptance, where people are free to worship without fear and free to live without prejudice. For him, protecting religious diversity is essential to maintaining both peace and progress. Obama's idea of inclusivity also extends to representation. He believes that governments should reflect the people they serve. When leadership includes individuals from different backgrounds, women, minorities, youth, marginalized communities, a nation becomes stronger and more just. Representation ensures that decisions made at the highest levels consider the needs of those who are often unheard. He views diverse leadership as a sign of a confident, mature democracy. At a deeper level, Obama's message of equality and inclusivity is about empathy. He believes that societies succeed when people learn to understand each other, listen to each other, and stand up for each other. Inclusivity is not only about policies, it is about mindset. It requires seeing the humanity in others, even when they look, speak, or believe differently. Obama encourages individuals, especially the youth, to reject prejudice, challenge stereotypes, and build bridges instead of walls. Ultimately, Obama's message about inclusivity is a call to action. He wants India to keep moving forward, not just through economic growth or global influence, but through the moral strength of ensuring that no one is left behind. A nation that embraces all its people, rich and poor, men and women, majority and minority, becomes a nation that stands unshakable. He believes that when equality becomes the foundation of a society, that society reaches its highest potential. Through this message, Obama envisions an India where progress is shared, dignity is guaranteed, and the future belongs to everyone.